fact. So, Chandra, good morning. Irene, good morning. Buddy, good morning. Shazam. Joan, good morning to you. Anna, good morning. Robin Passad, good morning to you. Great good morning to all of those who tuned in. I want to thank you for your continued support. So this morning we are going to visit the president's 3 years performance. And you can call in 622-7740 and give your take. Yesterday we had Dr. David Hines on the program, and I get the sense that Dr. Hines and when it comes to Dr. Hines personally, because of the fact that I could now invite him and he would come on my program, certain things I will keep for when he is here, right? Certain assessments I've made and so on, I'll keep for when he's here. Nonetheless, Dr. Hines is so I'm going to President Ali's page. And if you want to know, President Ali has been very open and transparent, and I can say nothing is perfect. Nothing is perfect in this country. And it can't be when you have persons like Dr. Hines who are bent on intent in one way. So Dr. Hines basically said here yesterday on my program, this country should not move forward if certain things are not looked at. Dr. Hines has no interest in Guyanese development. Dr. Hines' interest is black development. He clear about that? He ain't got no interest in Guyanese development until some form of an ideology or narrative that he has is satisfied. It's simple as that. That's how I get it. That's how I get the information. Not when are we going to look at it? I'm presenting this to you. Are we going to look at it? Are we going to look at it in the future and how reparations is going to be dealt with? Whoa. No. Everything in the world got to stop. It's sad. What is interesting is that all black leaders don't share Dr. Hines' radical sentiments. Right? So I want to go to President Ali's page. And you can go to it also. You'll go through and see what President Ali is doing, where he's going. He's very open on his page. Sad, a lot of something. So you go, this was a message from the president recently. And this is the president of the Cooperative Republic of Guyana.
Now, I have noticed.
Now, he said a lot, but my interest is in the last 5 points.
Is there something called economic good and a social good? The new boulevard in Alboystown and all the streets that we're doing there, in Barbies and Linden, what do you think is occurring? There's a concept called the net transferable value. As the government improve infrastructure, improve drainage, give better roads, create new road networks, new highways, what happens? The value of property goes up. There's a transferable value.
This morning, we are assessing the president's 3 years performance. And why I choose this video, why I choose this video is because of the fact that this is the president telling you his plans. Then we're going to dissect that. So first thing is, we got to figure out what you saying. And then we got to figure out if what this president is saying is adding up to what we're seeing. Y'all follow? So I'm saying we are looking at the president's 3 years performance. The president, for his 3 years performance, gave a speech explaining and detailing what he has done, what they're going to do, economic concepts, thing, over me head. So we listen, and then we've been seeing out there, is there things that we're hearing that we haven't seen? That is what we're discussing this morning. So let's look at that.
That goes to the people in the community. There's when you have a new hotel going up in a region, a new stadium going up in a region, new athletic track going up in a region, investment in resorts.
When the president is referring to these things, and a lot of times when I was talking to Dr. Hines yesterday, he is saying things that are happening, but he can't state instances. So when this president says a stadium is going up in a region, this is region 6, Berbice, Palmyra he's referring to, where a stadium like similar to Providence Stadium is going just ahead of the Berbice Bridge. When he says a synthetic track is going up in a region, he talks about the completion of a synthetic track in Linden. So he too using just short pivots of things, and it's not explaining and realize that people, Guyanese people, you gotta go into it, fine for them. But if you see a short coming, call on 622-7740. And you see and say a short coming. Let's hear what the president is saying.
Investment in new housing area. What do you think is happening?
When the president is speaking about investment in new housing area, the back of Annandale, number 58 Berbice, the back of Diamond, the back of Providence, the expansion of areas behind Tushin. This is happening right now. A number of other communities opening across the country. Right? So I'm just explaining for you. For him, what he didn't do is explain what he talking about. People say, oh, where? Me and see. Because you ain't been in the back down. What he talking about? And that is where you get what the president is projecting. So he's talking about all these things. But look at what the president is talking about. Guyanese can't see. They haven't seen as yet. So he has not simplified enough to a level where people can understand, because the synthetic track is just about completed. I don't think Londoners have started using it yet. The Palmyra project is now clearing up. There could have been a housing scheme, or because people are reading, people are following. Wherever people hear in the chat groups, wherever Glenn Lal tell them the wall is falling apart. You understand? When people see people digging a hole, it could be, God in heaven knows, it could be a hole for burial away. When they see the big place there falling up by Palmyra, they think maybe it's a burial ground. They're going to put there for Halloween, because from what Glenn Lal is saying, Halloween might die very soon.
There's a transfer of value. The tens of thousands of persons who are working in the housing sector, additional income. those who are supplying the sand, the lorry workers, the truck drivers, the mechanics.
Don't talk about those who supply the sand. And I'm glad the president identifies that. Right? Alexis is not a Barbie shirt. I ain't in no part of the Barbie bullshit. So, I was driving recently, early morning, going to the airport. And there were literally a line of trucks. A line of trucks from as far as Grove. No, it was not traffic jam. But I was driving and trucks was just coming. Trucks was just coming. 4 o'clock in the morning. Have you experienced that? Where you think these trucks going? What do you think going on?
So when the government invests in infrastructure, it is not that you're eating this, you will eat the school, but it creates what you call transferable value. There is a social value.
Well, I did not know that, Mr. President, and thank you for teaching us. That's really catchy. A little retarded look by the face. I didn't know it was I didn't know the transfer of the value, and I'm glad for you informing me. You have become quite the economist.
Is there something called economic good and a social good? The concept of what is an economic good and what is a social good must be understood.
All right, ma wappen. You lash me in my head because me understand. He come back. He been to China. He come back. No. He there. Economic good and social good. Try to ring me ears. All right, man. Listen, man. Me no say nothing. Me sit down and listen. You ring me ears now. Me no do you nothing. Jesus Christ, man. Y'all seeing this? Who you got problem with? Me now sit down and listen to this story. Next thing me I get at my ears, I get ringing. You got to understand. What am I? Eh? Here.
Economic good and a social good. The concept of what is an economic good and what is a social.
When the banner do that, I feel he holding me ears and ringing me ears. Like, you don't understand? Yeah, your head hard. Like you're stupid, you don't understand? You understand? Let me hear we got. All right, buddy. Tell me listen. Somebody say you got tagged away. For the opposition understand. Well, I believe you. Oh, he said understood. After that, he said understood. Oh, I didn't know. He tagged this thing before I had the interview with Dr. Hines or after? I know. Let me see though.
So you can have an appreciation of the impact of government programs and policies. So the concept of net transferable value is one in which the government investment increases the net value or adds to the value of individual communities and families.
All right, me get you.
Now I can give an entire day.
A whole day? So what you want? Do you want to become like Professor David Hines? Huh? Professor Ali? A whole day? For net transferable value? No, man. Me know when me drive on the road to Providence. Me know. Me understand what I go on, man. You gotta take a whole day, man. Not for me stupid, but I mean that's so stupid, man. Or we got too much stupid then. You know, common sense is not that common. That's the funny thing about Guyanese. Common sense ain't that common down here. Presumption is a thing. You understand?
Standing of this one concept, but that is briefly. The second concept is wealth creation. What is wealth creation?
Meaning no! That way never get rich! That wealth creation? Meaning no. Let me hear a Prezi concept of wealth creation. That way you could buy ring and watch and so. Nah? And when I go, Mambo Bar. Me no know. And when I could buy 5 black label. And I buy car from BM Sot and put ribbon on them for Bonner neighbor. Aye. Ada? When Gerald get Nike boots and Gucci bag. Me just a say. But let me hear what Prezi concept of wealth creation is.
Wealth creation is when the government develop policies and programs that helps community, that opens up opportunity in communities for the advancement of wealth, the creation of wealth. Whether it's a small business grant, the support of the farmers through fertilizer, the swamp shrimp farmers in Berbice, the farmers in Baracara, that we have opened up new lands for, the drainage work that we are doing to improve new land and increase new land, so that people will have access to new land to do productive work. That is investment to create wealth. If you don't do it, the land would be left there idle. No wealth can be created. For us to transfer the raw land into opportunities for wealth creation, you have to put the investment in. The investment has to be made so that it opens up the opportunity for wealth creation by the private sector, by the people of the country. That's the second concept. The third concept is disposable income. If you want families to be uplifted out of poverty, if you want families to move up the strata of society, then you have to find ways in which you can improve their disposable income.
Hold on. You knocked me one day. Not think me go left you so I started this whole story where you talk about it. Google girl come. Me need your help. Strata.
According to Cambridge Dictionary, Cambridge University Press and Assessment, straight a noun, a baked dish that consists of layers of bread, cheese, and meat or vegetables, covered with a mixture.
Strata.
According to Cambridge Dictionary, Cambridge University Press and Assessment, straight a noun, a baked dish that consists of.
Strata.
According to Cambridge
Like you,
Dictionary,
Morris.
Cambridge University.
Strata of society. In a group of people who are similar in their education, income, and social status. Strata. The strata of society, right? So the definition here, and he pull out a big one there for me. And you know, me as a bright and so, you know? Me just got to move back to Google. So me keep as a side chick. So a stratum of society is a group of people in it who are similar in their education, income, or social status. So let me go back to
out of poverty. If you want families to move up the strata of society, then you have to find ways in which you can improve their disposable income. So, when you remove the burden of the family to support health care, to support education, when you can get a free education through a gold scholarship, free degree through a gold scholarship, when you have increase for the pensioner.
By the way, since we're here and we might have missed it quite a few times, the gold scholarship G.O.A.L. gold scholarship, free scholarships up to a degree. I think one of them got some PhD programs with world-renowned and respected universities across the world. You can capitalize on that opportunity once you're Guyanese. You could apply free scholarship for their education, and there are even certificate programs. If you don't know for read and write and so, teach you for knit, teach you farming, things and all that. They got program for everybody to educate and elevate yourself. Yes, that is what the president is talking about, and this government doesn't talk about it enough because I don't see enough people capitalizing on it.
When you have the Because We Care grant, when you have the subsidy on sand and cement, when you have low interest rate by 3%, what you're doing? You're reducing the cost of the existing budget of that family, the budget, the pie of resources of that family. So what you do? You make more money, you free up more money, you free up more disposable income for other things. They will then decide to extend their house, to paint their house, or some will free up income so they can now save. It increase their propensity to save. So all these policies and programs to support the families enhance the disposable income. And then the fourth concept, and I will maybe go through some other concept later, but the fourth concept is value creation. How do we create value? You can't create value if you don't invest. But let me give you a simple example that people would not even realize. A simple program of the government, policy of the government, and how it affects people. Look at the CPL cricket. The concept of value creation. The CPL cricket, when it comes, what it does? It creates a stream of economic opportunity. Whether for the person who owns the bar down the road, the hotels, the persons who sell food, the restaurants, the value creation by these programs, the value creation in the housing program, the value creation in infrastructure program, the value creation in the education program. That is another concept that we have to understand.
I miss you there.
What we term in...
We said the money. Is that you said? Let me go back. Let me go. What you do here, man? Man, doing that kind of different thingy.
The government and how it affects people. Look at the CPL cricket. The concept of value creation. The CPL cricket, when it comes, what it does? It creates a stream of economic opportunity. Whether for the person who owns the bar down the road, the hotels, the persons who sell food.
By the way, we're having presently building 7 new international hotels. 7. The target for 2025 should be 10, to have 10 international hotels in Guyana.
The restaurants, the value creation by these programs, the value creation in the housing program, the value creation in infrastructure program, the value creation in the education program. That is another concept that we have to understand. Then, what we term in new development studies, policy-driven investment, where the government pursues policies that are aimed at driving up investment. So you'd recall when we came into government, we advanced a policy to support investment in new hotels. Today we have some more than 7 new hotels already under construction. So this is where policies drive investment. And that is what you see the government has been doing. creating policies to drive private capital, drive private investment. That is why you're seeing all across the country construction work going on. You're seeing all across the country investment by the private sector. This did not happen by accident. This happened by a very structured approach by the government, by the policy of the government to drive investment. These new hotels, what will they do? They will create thousands of new jobs. For who? The ordinary people, the Guyanese. It will create downstream benefit for the supermarkets, the butchers, the poultry industry, eggs, cleaning service. That is how things work. So the policies that we have developed is driving investment. Look at agriculture. Soon you'll be self-sufficient in corn and soya. Launching a new project now to be self-sufficient in black eye. These are the things, the policies that drive the investment. Investment in manufacturing, industrial development, agro-processing, the hospitality sector, new malls being built. These things are not by accident. Policy-driven investment. Now poultry, housing, construction. So my dear friends, I just wanted to take some moment this evening to give you a brief glance.
You heard what the president had to say. And it is 3 years now, just about, just days, a day over 3 years. And I would like you guys to call in on 622-7740 and tell me about what transformation you have seen and what more do you expect to see. Right? So are you guys going to call in? 622-7740. And don't call after, but now the live there right now. Our live is when the little red thing there up top there. Some people be calling after I got to work and they call if a tax something. You got to call now. Right? If anybody is dissatisfied with the president's performance in 3 years, you can call. You can say what you see, what you don't like. But what has to be recognized is how Georgetown is being transformed. Look at the landscape. Look at the skyline, how it is being transformed. That has to be recognized. You can't not notice that. The new highways across Guyana. Right now, the highway up to Diamond, to the back of Diamond is being completed. The new pumps, all the new pumps that are going across the country with intention to alleviate flooding. Hello, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Mr. Critic. How are you?
Yeah, talk to me. What's your take?
Mr. In the picture there, we show you, man, right? The same thing I want to talk about on this Alvin Road. He gave me take a couple pictures and send me you.
Now you send it?
Yeah, but me never walk over here, man.
Okay, no problem, brother. As soon as I have time, I'll look at it and see how I can have it addressed.
Thank you very much, sir. Enjoy the rest of your day.
You're most welcome. Yeah. So is that being looked at? So we get a highway from with the scarecrow there upon the back road, going all the way so far, it's gone all the way to Diamond. It's completed from Mandela Avenue to Eccles. From Eccles to Diamond is completed, partially completed. And from Diamond, going all the way up to Busby Dam, that's past Grove, is now going out for tender. Pumps going out for tender to alleviate flooding. Not them pump where they gotta put a pump and something they over the trench. Pumps, rail pumps like what that Lillian being built all across the country. Hello, good morning, brother.
Critic, you live?
Yes, yes.
I see them all comment the London Sunday for keep talking me. Tell me why nobody comment this stop this talking please.
All right, brother.
Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Critic, my red woman want me to... Alex, I told her, really, you red woman like too fucking crass, man. Alex, stop talking about your red woman, and I don't know where they're going to kick off for you, understand? You talking about your red woman, then somebody going to search your profile, find your woman, hustle your woman, fuck you just now. Because you're always promoting shit. Hello, good morning.
Yes, my bro. Good morning. On the issue of what the president was talking about, I just want to make a couple of pointers. He did mention about agriculture, and I had pointed out on several occasions that agriculture needs to move along as part of the development of Guyana. Although we're focusing on infrastructure, of course, that's a new phenomenon for Guyanese because we really need to catch up with the rest of the Caribbean and then the world. Our sectors that we have in Guyana also need an injection of capital. And they also need protection because if we're going to go into agro-processing and let's say canning, bottling, and having those facilities so that our products or agriculture, the stuff that we grow in Guyana, could be, let's say, dried out, it could be bottled, it could be canned, we need to have certain things put in place. And some of those things also include, like I always mention to you, IP laws. So if they're not looking at the development of the people, I keep mentioning this over and over, it's not about infrastructure. It's about the development of the human resource. All right, brother? So although he's doing some good stuff, we've also got to look at how are the people being developed? How is the process of what we are uniquely Guyanese? How are we holding on to ourselves? All right, bro?
Roger that, bro. Thanks for your input. And that is Malachi. He's been very active with getting...
Good morning.
Yes, morning, sir.
You see that false information you just spread around this place. I don't like you for them thing,
In relation to what?
That's what I'm saying. The people of this country live within the coastal plain. And as such, they live within the CNE Conservancy. Also, the government.
What the fuck you talking about, big man? What false information? What false information you talking about? What you talking about?
You talking so real wrong. No diesel car.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
They have a friendship. Yeah, them there. Two truck. Drive up in long get right. The truck.
You get any photos or video?
And go after the accident. They can tell you the pictures. The car, the accident is a minibus. We got to be fair with things now. The minibus breaks up and stop the bridge. Stop and stop the bridge. The man just clear.
And the truck man swerve?
The one that back of the minibus, he ended up stopped about 3 inches away from this minibus and stop the bridge. And the next one just come and him into it because it's a bit stuck in there. They do nothing. You understand? Nothing. And stop this bridge. I mean, when the man put long inside the jump out the bus, once you the driver put long inside the truck, jump in the bus and start to drive. And we get no money.
Send all the details to me.
The number is BTT 125.
That's the bus number?
That is the bus number. I'm send you the
PPP?
BTT.
BPP, oh.
125.
Send the details to me on WhatsApp right away.
Good.
Yeah, man call about some information I given and the service dam. I don't know what the fuck he talking about. Yeah, I'll make joke with me and them thing, you know. Alex, you gone with this thing again, buddy. You gotta know where for ease and press. It's never say I don't see in the comments. You gotta know where for ease and press. You were like too crass. Nobody interested in your personal life. I'll tell you just what's gonna happen. Banner would go and sort your red one, fuck shit, and then you got a real problem. You feel insulted, you keep going on. You're gonna feel horned just now. As the Bajans say. Yes, 622-7740 is the number. Carlin, I'll be here. What's your take? It's not that I'm making joke. You're lying. You're gonna find the story. You understand? The girl black bleach or something, and he read him. When anybody talking about a woman so much. Hello, good morning.
Critic, use a product again, lal. Don't understand the dynamic.
Man, what? Here the man. What we talking about, Josh? You're telling me about some service and some misinformation. What we talking about?
You the talking about you bring pump water just now, then bring pump.
No, I am talking about the pumps that being built. They put out some pump, like Liliandal pump.
Buddy, Liliandal pump, and canal pump, and black dal pump, and Oridal pump. Cannot pump out this water. You live within the CNE Conservancy.
Oh, now I get you. No, but what's the point you're trying to make?
You will miss the point and misled the people into believing.
No, so government intend the pumps?
Brethren, you can't do this thing. You got to bring back natural drainage.
You got to be a fucking retard, big man. Where are you getting natural drainage at the under sea level? This Malik is a madman. You're telling me all the engineers and everybody, Dutch people come and tell me how to do the thing. Them, you know what to do? You gotta go and call me Makaram and get off with he, buddy. The wrong information is that I saying they bring government tender, me company tender for build pumps. What misinformation? They tender for build pumps. And what they building pumps for? To alleviate flooding. I never say there's the solution. I said the bidding, they put pumps out for bid. And I know what's the purpose of building those pumps with the intention to alleviate flooding. Yeah, so telling you, 622-7740. What I like a Glen Lal, I give in misinformation. Pumps being built. What the pumps being built for? Me, I look like I sign me name that I do the survey as to what is going to alleviate flooding in this country. These sometimes I have these people retarded. Hello, good morning, sir.
Critic, you missed this point, you know.
No, listen to me. But listen to me. Listen to me first, and then I can listen to you. Hear what I'm saying. I bid for pump. Me construction company bid for pump. I know always is there about the road showing flooding. So I know pump bill for alleviate flooding. You are saying.
Let me talk, man.
Man, fuck you.
Fuck you, man, to Critic.
Hello. Yes, Everton. Mr. Morris. Jesus Christ. Lee talk for me. Put me program? You talking for you put me program and say I lie? Yes, Everton, morning.
Good morning, Critic. I give the government a B+. They did a tremendous job for the past 3 years, but I'll tell you why I didn't give them an A. They didn't get an A because I believe there's some things that in Guyana inherently we don't do well. Number one, I would like to see more maintenance contracts awarded, not just to build the roads, but to maintain them. You know, in Guyana, we're very good to react, but we're not very good at being proactive. And that's something that's been missing throughout our history.
You want some help, Everton? You want some help in understanding that and how it happened?
Yes, please. Mm-hmm.
All right. So if I could, I've been recently educated. I was sitting with the vice president, and he called to find out about a job for $47 million between Lamaha on Waterloo Street, between Lama, one corner, the beautification and paving of doing a walkway and so, right? $47 million. So he said, he called and he's trying, what's going on? Why $47 million? Blah, 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 blah. And I said, man, it's the beautification of Georgetown. He says, Critic, when I was president, $47 million was the capital budget for a whole region for a year. We can't just drop $47 million Punta Cana without justification. You understand what I'm telling you?
Yes,
no.
Yes, I'm with you.
That being said, right away I realize or you might not have realized, we rushing and we building and we doing all these things. But we never had what you're talking about there. We never had the infrastructure to maintain anything because we were struggling to just build, just to get a road, just to do a thing. So 2 years in, 3 years in now, we're discussing 3 years in, you see the dilemma. And rightfully so, that has to be addressed that you're talking about there.
Okay.
We need to, because you make an investment, so do we just leave it to deteriorate because now we got the money? We didn't have the money first. And I didn't know. A lot of times I don't know a lot of things, you know. I don't know everything. I sit down and I was like, in me mind, I thinking, we all up in 47 million for a car. What businesses does this thing beautifying? I thinking, I glad for the people in the area. You understand? So, and he said, no, Critic, we can't just spend money just like that. That used to be the capital budget. So when I look at you, imagine we do with 47 million, struggling to figure out how to do and patch road. You understand? And make things work.
Okay.
It's that's where Guyana come from. So I could explain why we're not a society, but we're going to get there because what's going to happen? Right now, everybody building, right? And when this infrastructure drive starts to slow down, what we going to do with all them machinery and equipment? We start burying them. We got to find some other form of jobs. We got to keep the wheel rolling. So good point that it come up, but I can explain from not a PPP or a PNC point of view, from an administrative point of view, because the PNC would have faced the same problem. They just didn't have the resources to do it at the time, the maintenance kind of thing.
Okay. Two last points. The other point I failed them on, and that's why I didn't get an A, is the exchange rate and inflation. And this is probably not the forum for a deep discussion on it, but let me say this. I believe Guyana's currency should appreciate against the US dollar. It's the primary currency that we transact business in worldwide. And what has happened here is our economy has grown fourfold. Our currency rate was imposed back in the 2010, 2012 era when we had financial stress in this country, or even before that. And the current rate that we have is a disequilibrium between what it should be versus what it is. Now, I spoke to a very good economist in Guyana, and he said to me, we know that. However, we're afraid of the Dutch disease. And I laughed, because what it does also is empower Guyanese, a Guyanese businessman like you that just bought stuff from China or India. You paid more than you should have because you took Guyanese dollars, convert them to US or whatever, and you bought that equipment. A Trinidad person would be at a better advantage than you because their income levels are higher, their currency rates are higher because it's relevant to the dollar. So they pay less for that same crane you bought, they would pay less for it than you paid for it. And what I try to emphasize is once the currency appreciates, it also brings down inflation, okay? Because most of the stuff that we buy from the outside, cement, will be cheaper to Guyanese. Steel is cheaper to Guyanese because our currency is stronger. I don't know why there's a lag with the governor of the Bank of Guyana. I know the president is not directly responsible for this.
No. I could tell you there are people who are aware, and the man who looks into things like that is fully well aware of the situation. But what I'll do, Everton, I'll as soon as he's back, I'll sit and have a talk with him and try to have an understanding, because I can tell you, the one of the foremost economists in this country is Barjagio, and an economist that has had you could say preview, being finance minister, working in the Ministry of Finance, being president, an economist that has had preview like no other economist would have had, and experience like no other economist has in this region. You understand? So not only an economist that was a finance minister and had preview to information and has been rolling with it all the time. I can tell you, if it was a walk in the park to access or make changes as it relates to that, the president and the vice president and this administration would have headed in that direction. I have heard or overheard, because I is not the, like when we sit down talking about things, things I are more interested in is people-centered. You know, in these big economic discussions and acts and things, you would have banner like Joel Bagondin, you know, he just rile up them kind of thing. And so I is more interested in how people directly are affected, how we could make changes. So those are the type of questions I'll ask. I normally ask, but I will ask as it relates to that. And I can remember hearing about the Dutch disease and needing for a balance immediately, because we're going to get products cheaper. As you're saying, we're going to get products cheaper. Products are going to be more affordable. But we are going to lose value that we have presently. Right?
Last point, Cricket. Last point. And this is about the debt ceiling that was raised this week. Actually, I think it was Friday. And in your last news conference with the vice president, I believe you said Guyana's debt limits are external debt is about 24% or 23% of GDP. That's still money we have to repay. And if we have to repay the current exchange rate, we're paying more Guyanese dollars to remove that debt over time. So just the last point in this exchange rate is if our exchange rate appreciated, it means that debt becomes cheaper. Instead of it being 23% of GDP, it probably goes down to 18, 19% of GDP. Let me just leave you with that. I had a couple other points, but I'm sure there are other callers that want to come in.
No. Let's we got Vishal is on the line, and so if there are things that are of a national issue, let's hear it, Everton.
Well, the other point was the savings in Guyana, the savings rate, the formal savings rate. Half the when I was down there, I looked into this. I think less than 37% of Guyanese have a bank account. And
I have a few. It just doesn't have money inside.
Well, there's a reason why it has no money inside, because most Guyanese will tell you your investment or deposits in banks in Guyana are generally not insured. Meaning, if that bank failed, you know, you have to stand in line to get your money back.
I disagree, because that's not something that's ever come to my mind. I just invest all my money, and I could tell you, I talk to regular people on the road every day. They are studying the security of their money. They think when you put a bank in, hey, let me tell you, let me put it bluntly for you. Poor people don't know money. You're speaking from a different vantage point. but I don't think it really relates to the people on the ground from the context that you're talking about. Poor people don't know money. Then when they put money in bank, they think insecurity something lock up inside a place. Then nobody never thief it. They don't realize money begets money. Money needs to bring in money. You understand? I like me, I spend money that I don't have. And let me explain to you. So I get a job. And when I get a job, I ask the engineer, how much is the profit on that job? And he said, this is the amount, boss. And I go immediately and acquire equipment. So if I get a job for $100 million and $25 million is my profit, now bear in mind, I just get a job. All I got is an advance. Most times you get a job from the ministry, it's 15% advance. Right? I go. Once I know 25 million coming in the next couple of months, I go and take equipment that now goes and start making profit for me. So I start making money for me, money even before I get it. You understand?
Yeah.
The regular man don't do it. All I do as it relates to my business is run a certain way. All I do, right, is try to figure out how I could get my money to make money. Let me simplify for you. Everything I enter. So, we do ads for Kissoons. All of our furniture we buy from Kissoons. We do ads for A. Ali and Sons. As a result of that relationship, we do ads for BM Sot. As a result of that relationship, we got a credit line with them. You understand? When Tupui Group started and they needed an office, I go to Kissoons. Take some stuff, because I giving you stuff. Now I take some stuff from you, put it in my office. They're ahead in the game right away. The money they're paying next month and the next month for ads, working for me now in Tupui office.
Yeah.
You understand? So all I do, my core value to my businesses as an entrepreneur, all the companies, is come in and assess how. You understand? How can I make more of what I have? My equipment are taxed. Michael has a company, he come. Pit stop services deal with rental equipment. And he primary business is when Tupui Group has a machine that is not active, immediately try to rent it or do something with it. We not got nothing rest down. Me money gotta make money all the time. You understand? If you give me $10,000, Everton, and ask me to on next week Friday when I'm going to Barbies, drop this money for a man. I right away buy 2 steel rod, do something, sell it back, collect the money, collect 15 grand, spend them one more time, collect 20 grand. You understand? In the system, immediately, we deal with a Friday. Poor people, they wrap up their money, granny, wrap up the money and push them somewhere. It never make nothing. You understand?
Yes.
Me right away. Yes. Me spend money based on projections of money that intend to come. It ain't reach yet. Somebody tell me they're only kind of start spend money. Yes. You understand?
That's how money is made. That's how money is made. Yeah.
So, when you tell me about the people with the banking system, yes, I'm telling you, because I would, I shy away from taking loans. They think they percentage in favorable to me, but the other day I telling the vice president, I said, man, we are doing with loans. Poor people get more loans. You understand? The people could do more business. But we is 8%, America 6%. You understand?
Yes.
It is so far off, and then they tell me, like, now I got for back down. But still, why can't we be like America? And between you, I find why we can't even be better than America. Maybe 5. You understand?
Yeah.
So,
Critic, last point. Your interview with Dr. Hines yesterday, it was very, very good discussion. I went and take a look at Dr. Hines' record. I mean, he's in Arizona State University. He's dean as one. Not such a great professor for kids. For individuals that have taken his class, when asked if they would ever take it again, the vast majority said no. He's not highly rated. And I listened to the man yesterday, and I got to give credit. I'm glad he's a product of the soil. He comes from Buxton like my family did. Part of his family from Belladrum like my family did. The only difference between him and me is that, part of my family ended up marrying a Portuguese woman. So I don't look black as him. However, I had the good fortune of sitting in a class with another great Guyanese. And he's the difference between Dr. Hines and Dr. Ivan van Sertima. Dr. Ivan van Sertima was teaching at Rutgers University, which I did a class in. And that man never said anything about the difference between Indians and blacks or whatever. All he told me was, you need to understand how great black people are, coming from your history, back from the Nubian era, or all kind of eras. And he never disparaged another race in terms of a discussion. I mean, reading between the lines, that's Dr. Hines needs to be more conscious of that. It comes over like the message and the delivery from Dr. Hines are inadequate for a person of his stature and intellect. That's all I will say at that point.
If I could put something to that, while we were here yesterday, myself and Dr. Hines, so right now in the operation room is a black kid, sits in the operation room. He's the man behind this thing here. The individual that runs TBN is a black woman. And it so happened that she came in yesterday when the program was going on. And I was told after this, I learned after. He was asking her, can you relate to this guy? And she said, no, I can't relate to him. The victim mentality, she can't relate. And this is a black dude sitting there and trying to understand, what is this man talking? You understand? No, me and my staff don't got so much interactions for them to really have a good understanding of where my thought processes. I very open. I haven't any discussion, and I representing me point immediately. And everybody knows that. The extent of how they know me is what they're sitting and hearing me say. But I'm telling you, I received a call from one of my supporters, and she said, out of Brooklyn, she said, Critic, something is wrong with that man. A black woman out of Brooklyn. She said, I don't know if it's because I've been away from Guyana so long, but something is wrong specifically with that individual. You understand? And I'm sitting here,
yes.
And I want because when Dr. Hines came yesterday, that was not supposed to be the format. Everybody knew me. That yesterday was a surprise for people. How the format went. They thought it would get real loud and. But after he said, I look at all your videos, because he's speaking about specific things I said and so on. And I can't, how you know that? And he said, I look at your videos, and I said, some respect needs to be paid if Dr. Hines is a fan. And I wonder if I could convince Dr. Hines on different methods of edifying his people, because I got a skill set. I have earned, the position of being able to disseminate the best at disseminating information in certain manner. Right? And my response, I was like, I said, Dr. Hines, we got to do this a lot more times, because I realized I didn't get anywhere with Dr. Hines yesterday. He didn't move from his position, and I wonder if it is a struggle, or if it is a national struggle, which I can't see, or it's personal. And I want to sit with Dr. Hines and have that discussion with him, right? But again, blacks could not relate to him. The people in there, they're like, and I tell you, they ain't know he got a set of acceptable in here. So ain't got you got to be boss man as an Indian man, you got to act like, you understand? You ain't like your Matty Black, forget working. So here, sir, is anything goes. Because all I ask them to do is deliver to me. We ain't got no race thing. Who is the if you can't deliver, you're gone. Me policy is hire fast and fire faster. You understand? So it's anybody. I have no time with race. All I think about is ching 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 dollar signs. If you can't get me where I want to go, you got to go. You understand? Simple as that. If you ain't going with me, I going alone. I get somebody who could take me where I want to go. And while that program was going on, people are sitting and can't relate. Because I'm telling doctors, I said doctors, this is how I perceive it. You project it onto me that way. So it's fair for you to accept what I'm telling you. And I'm looking at the other person and trying to figure out what they're thinking. And it was made out like it's some kind of struggle. And I was like, when, where, how? He is still in the 90s. He is not, he's still in the permafrost.
Yes.
Every time we talk, buddy.
Critic, thanks for taking my call.
You're most welcome, brother. Yeah, my brother. Good morning. Hello? Yes, brother. Yes, sir.
You know, I watched your program yesterday with Dr. Hanks. You shouldn't have these type of people on your program.
Well, if we are to effect change.
No, listen what I'm saying. When people get old, either they get wise or some of them get foolish. And majority of them just get foolish. You won't get a man like that with them type of face on your program. And talking stupidness.
I beg to differ.
Listen what I'm saying. Intelligent people talking stupidness.
I hear you.
All right, good. And next thing. When a man talk about development, right? You know, when the gas, the energy completed, the gas, the energy, what they do in the West Bank completed, the country going to boom critics because we're going to get cheap power. We're talking something of intelligence. We're going to get cheap power and they're going to have companies coming in, this coming in and that coming in. And the different factories going to come in.
Well, what happens, sir? A lot of people listen to Glenn Lal and doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Right? But there are always risk. Glenn Lal took them, has made himself a fortune, but he doesn't want the poor people. And I call them poor people because poverty is a mentality. First thing, you have to accept where you are. If you want to be successful in life, I can tell you, success doesn't come in churches. The people who continually go to the church, they go and they're the same way their whole life. You understand? Success come out of fields.
We know this.
You understand?
Point, I want to make a next point. You see Dr. Bachakpil, I hope he gets a little more long life to save this country. And then we got a guy what you talk about this morning, Joel Bagwan. I see he's grooming to take up Jack Bill position. But that these two men is there's two great men in this country. Because I don't listen to the opposition that people talking like these people. I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know. It's maybe they've been so psychologically scarred. You understand? Because if you listen to Glenn and the doom and gloom, like me, I can't relate to Glenn Lal because in my business practice here, I tell you guys I take money and spend money we may even get yet. Glenn Lal, I think Bill in Ireland, he can't see any head. Right? When he started the paper and borrow money, how did he know he would have been a success? You got to take risk. You got to go. You understand? You got to step out there in the light. You got to face the pressure. When I go out in the day, I don't know what's going to happen. What I know, I have solved 1,000,000 problems. Today, we have solved 1,000,001. Tomorrow, 2,000,000. You understand?
Yeah.
So oh God, I wonder if the bulldozer will go and buy. I wonder where it come from. I got a friend. When I go and buy me bulldozer, she tell me right away, critic the engine, and she was right. She was right. These electronic engine give problem. So she wasn't shying me away from me being a success. She wasn't trying to hold me back. You understand? She was right, but partner, there's the only bulldozer I could get credit. Then I had the bulldozer, like, me I had the option of walking the store and said, well, I don't want this one. I would like that one.
Uncle Joanna had none?
No. I missed a deal with Uncle Johan for a $8 million bulldozer. But what's saying? She telling me, man, and me thinking and watching she and me say, like, wherever problem come with the bulldozer, me got take on because me want bulldozer now. When me in a better position, me know the next bulldozer me buy, me can buy the mechanical one, not the electronical one. You understand?
Yeah, boss.
So these are the risks that have to be taken. We would expect the government to be more prudent and not take too much of risk that can cause problem for the people. But this is the reality of our society. We talk, Chief.
Yeah, but you know what I like with Barjack? Barjack go trying to make everything simple and easy for the poor man. What he said, what y'all don't raise the tax on the poor people. You know, the houses and the thing in Georgetown. Because remember, these people renting these places, they making no type of money. These big store really making no money. If people feel that these people making some big set of money, they're making no type of money. When you sit down and you, the overhead expense beating them. And Barrett know that. All right, boss, we talk.
Yeah, my brother. Thanks for your input. So, guys, I'll take one more call, and then, my God, we see Miss Carl here. Yeah, my brother.
How are you doing?
Talk to me.
Well, yesterday I enjoyed the interview with you and David Hines, or David Hines on the show. I wanted to know if you took a real off the rock, we call it rum before you listen to the guy. Real thing, critics, they got berry.
In life, there's a lot of things to learn from, and every day you could learn from people.
When you listen to this guy, nothing that, or the context of which David Hines expound on these issues, it does not relate. It has no comparison to what is unfolding in Guyana. And it is sad, because you know why it is sad? Because we have vulnerable minds out there who may not be mentally intact, like the two of us, or many like us.
No, you, like you.
Well, no.
I don't think I fall under mentally intact. I can't talk to you alone.
What's saying, right? What trying to see? I ain't so versed in English language.
No. You mean, people who are versed in what's going on and
right.
not totally ignorant to the facts. We ignorant. Yes, and people think ignorant is stupid, but you can be ignorant to certain facts. You understand? Unable to comprehend, understand. Ignorant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good.
So we're not all that ignorant.
When Mr. David Hines would have expounded on this hysteria that he himself would have conceptualized in his mind, it has no reality base.
I try to. You see, I think one of our problems is, because I'm sensing when people call and I look in the comments and people were not even willing to have David Hines on the program, if you do not show a willingness, or if you do not have a willingness, you do not have the girth, or you don't have what it takes to sit and face your issues, you then never figure out what they are. It's like counseling. You understand? Really, to get to the bottom of the thing, you got to sit, you got to face it. And I said so much about David Hines. You understand? I had to deal with it. You got to sit down. And I'm going to do other interviews with him because I want to know what is wrong. Where are we going wrong? Am I that wrong? You understand? Are you that wrong? Or will you ever? And we're going to obviously reach a point, a day, where we're going to all agree. Is he?
Yeah.
You understand? Let me call you back. I get an overseas call. Hello, good morning. All right. No. Yeah. So talk to me,
I
brother.
think we got a lot of work to do with Mr. David Hines, though, if there's the intention.
Well, I don't think the work is on David Hines. I'm reading a book called The Morning After, something like that. Wrote
This
by
narrated by Mr. Lucy Quayano.
UC Quayana, yeah. So
I read that book.
I'm just started reading yesterday and get tied up with things. And recently I've been drinking a lot, and I'm gonna going into
Mr. Critic,
fasting
Mr. David Hines. I used to be in Boxton. Mr. David Hines was very instrumental, mobilizing people and insinuating certain narratives.
Well, he insinuates, but he instigates. His insinuations instigate. But I'm saying
Instigating certain sentiment.
here. Let me take this call. Hello. Good morning.
Hey.
Yeah, brother.
How are you?
Yeah, turn off the thing in the background there.
Yeah. Sorry. So I listened to David Hines in the US today. So the point that he is saying that the country have wealth, today than what they face in power when they were in power. How do you go about the main point that he is making? Well, like you got to take resources and pay black people, or what really do you want? Because if you are sharing this your lesson to younger people, what will they know directly? What you're coming from? Because you're not explaining some of your stuff that you're educating people about. You understand?
Who you? Me or David Hines? I don't understand.
David Hines.
Okay. All right, brother.
I'm referring to him.
Okay, cool.
You understand?
All right. Thanks for your input, sir.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome.
So here we got call it a day.
Okay, sorry. But
So this thing getting hot. A lot of people want to talk. We gotta do this tomorrow. We gotta do more where you guys are doing it. They all know it but cannot prove it. They need outside help to put these in charge behind bars. Bar Jagdio build bridges, but opposition build barriers. All right. So guys, let's call it a day. Oh God, I gotta go and figure out how to take over the world. Peace out.